All right. So thanks everyone for joining. I see Winsome has joined as well. Welcome. So my name is Michael Henderson. I'm the founder and CEO of BAG Travel. I started it about say 6 years ago, uh, really to give more Black Americans kind of exposure to different uh, to travel. Period. I mean, just looking at the statistics, it was something below 30% of Black men in the United States had a passport. Um, and have, as speaking as someone who's been traveling internationally since like 18 or 19, and just learning a lot of lessons overseas, I wanted to create a company where I created this product that people would get inspired by and actually want to go out and see the world. Um, Even if they do it solo, like I do blog posts, introducing different locales around the world. I've been featured in several magazines, travel magazines, for the communities I've built, and I'm very proud of it. And it's just, I think the more exposure you get to international travel, it's definitely creates a more well-rounded experience in your life. At least speaking personally, and travel is definitely one of life's greatest teachers. So with that, one of the best locations, the most affordable luxury location in the world is Thailand, and Bangkok is actually the most visited city in the world. Been that for several years, and there's a reason why. But just to the north of Bangkok, let's say about an hour flight, you have a huge city called Chiang Mai, where they have the lantern festivals, Loy Krathong and Yi Ping. So with that, I'll kick it over to Oak, and he'll introduce himself.
Thank you, Mike. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Oak Mahavan. I'm a independent travel consultant for BAG as well. I've been doing this trips for over 5 years. It started off with just taking friends and family there, and then eventually Mike heard about me, and he's like, "You got to get into this boat because I really want you to connect, you know, uh, people from America to Southeast Asia." And so my background is I actually work in compliance, but travel is my biggest passion since my family actually were one of founders of travel in northern Thailand. Started out by my grandmother back in the 1970s when the first flight arrived Chiang Mai. So I think kind of it's in my DNA, I guess, to really share experiences and stories, and hope to be part of something bigger with bridging the east and the west, and having lots of fun about doing it as well. So thank you.
Thanks. So can you explain what Yiping and Loy Krathong are? What are the lantern festivals? Why do they
Yes.
exist?
Yes. So the Lantern Festivals happen yearly. It's a pretty much a full moon festival event that is in preparation for the dry season in November. And what's significant is because in our culture of Thailand and northern Thailand is it's kind of like a cleansing, renewal, spiritual passing to the new next year. So during this period of time, throughout Thailand, we'll celebrate Loi Krathong. Loi Krathong is when people actually float the light vessels. These actually originate in the Hindu culture that transferred over to the Buddhist culture. And over the years, the Thais have been celebrating that through the rivers. However, Yi Peng, in addition to Loi Krathong, is specifically for northern Thailand, where the culture is actually floating sky lantern festivals, sky lanterns. So this is also a method of, symbolic releasing of, negativity and making prosperous wishes for the new year. And it's pretty much tying everything back to the culture, the roots, and connecting with people. And this is one of the major events that it has become so popular that I think around the world, even in the States, people are doing lantern festivals as well. So this is where it all originated. And every year, especially these past 5 years, I noticed there's a big scale where over 100,000 people will come from all over the world just to witness this experience and be under the lantern skies with fireworks. And an incredible feeling, and I've seen the development of that from my childhood to now, which is it's a big step. Yeah.
and it's 100, and there's several locales in Chiang Mai where the Lantern Festival is held. So when Oak says 100,000, he means maybe 100,000 people in each of like 20 to 30 locales around the city. So it's pretty huge. And I believe the Lantern Festivals are still the second most popular like festive season in the country after Songkran. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so here's an idea of the scale. So if you're looking to be in Thailand during its most festive or one of its most festive times, November is it. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. The dates are November 22nd through December 2nd. And I know what everyone's thinking, turkey time. So as Oak mentioned, that it follows the full moon calendar. So it's not always the same time every year. So my counter to that is you're going to have hopefully plenty of Thanksgivings to spend with your family every single year. Maybe try something a little different. Uh, Bring some memories back home this time. So it's going to be incredible. And we got a very good package together, and we definitely are confident that you're going to enjoy spending Thanksgiving week in Thailand. Okay. Let's kick over to the itinerary. Let me share screen. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It's not, there's no static or anything.
All good.
Okay. All right.
Yes, there's some static. There's a buzz in your mic.
Okay.
Maybe
Is
I'll
anybody
mute
else
myself.
getting a buzz? Okay. So if everyone else is good, I'll continue. So the actual recording, when you, I think it'll be clear. If not, I can just voice over. But thanks for sharing. So we're actually going to go through the itinerary now. So the arrival date is November 22nd. If you're flying from the US, you're crossing over the international date line. So you're looking at leaving no later than like the early morning, like 12 a.m. to like 2 a.m. on the 21st. I would probably advise leaving the evening of the 20th to arrive on time on the 22nd, on the Sunday of November. So you arrive in Chiang Mai first, which is called the Rose of the North. We're going to have our folks on the ground. We have very, very hospitable long-term partners on the ground. We're very excited to meet everyone. They're going to do the meet and greet. Welcome to Thailand. You're going to arrive there. They'll pick you up. They'll have the sign. We're going to take you to the hotel. It'll be the Intercontinental Hotel in Chiang Mai or similar. It's a 5-star. Both of the hotels in Bangkok or Chiang Mai will be 5-star. We do the upscale tours. We want you guys to have the best experience possible there. It's a great, great location right next to the old town. So if you're talking about getting in the middle of the festivities, you can't really get more central than that. Speaking of that, after arrival, let's say you get there early enough, you get a little rest, you go back to the hotel, unpack. So that evening, it's an optional event. If people want to go to the Sunday night market, it's right in Old Town. There's local vendors, goods. The food is incredible. Like even if you're just going to people watch, it's an incredible kind of intro to Thailand. You can see the buzzing going around and the anticipation leading up to the Lantern Festivals. And day two, the daytime first half of the day is free. Definitely want to be sensitive to people who are, that's a long trip. You want to recover. You have jet lag, you want to sleep in late, that's fine. You have daily breakfast at the hotel. But the evening, we're going to have our opening dinner on the second night. It's at the Kanto Cultural Center, which Oak's family actually owns. That's one of the locations that have the Thai luau style, like taking the Hawaiian model. And then there's a kind of a Thai version. So with that, do you want to talk about this?
I'm flattered, but so my grandmother took the concept when she went to Hawaii back in the 1970s, the luau, and she introduced the whole cultural and dinner performance aspects to northern Thailand. So she and her friends, a group of females entrepreneurs, decided to open the cultural center back in the 1980s, and it's been standing to this date. Technically, it's not my family; it's relatives of relatives. But the cultural center houses really old architecture, a lot of performances, and pretty much you go in there, you be in this big, huge, open area where the dining takes place, on the floor surrounding the stage area, similar to a harem style feeling, with triangular pillows and a bunch of assortment of northern Thai food selections and herbal drinks and performances coming from various tribes around northern Thai kingdom, which are very different than central Thai style Bangkok. Yes.
And the group last year, they had an excellent time. It was very interactive, the show as well. So, and yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good intro to Thai cuisine. And the day 3, Tuesday, the 24th, in the daytime, we have it free. We'll provide some recommendations as well. If you want to, let's say, go to the spa, get a massage in the daytime, or you want to go walking in the city, checking out some shops or some place to get lunch, we'll provide recommendations as the trip gets closer for options you could do, and with some tips of how to get around, which is relatively easy in Chiang Mai. Instead of Uber, there's a service called Grab that you use. Works the same, but it's very convenient. Or Tuk Tuk, which is the little almost looks like carts. I kind of tease and say they look like shopping carts with motors, but yeah, it'll be a fun experience, just roaming, just exploring. But the main event is that night, Peng and Lord Krathong, the Lantern Festival. So I'm sure you've probably seen these videos of this experience on YouTube, etc. No, those videos and photos don't do it justice. You're there with hundreds of thousands of people. There's food, there's music, there's other performers. It's a whole festival. And that I guess climaxes in this celebration at a certain time where everybody releases the lanterns together and there's fireworks and singing. So it's almost like I would say a New Year's-ish type of experience, but it's very incredible and it's kind of unique, despite the ones that have kind of popped up around different cities around the world. As I mentioned, this is the original and still the biggest and the best of it. There'll be round trip transportation from the hotel to the experience, so everything is it'll be done with the VIP status where we have our own section. You go there, very good visibility. The food section, we have an elevating experience there. So I want to make everything as comfortable as possible for the group to enjoy this incredible experience. Okay, day 4. That's a lot the previous night. So we want to give this daytime and open space for people to just kind of absorb what you've been through. We'll also, as I mentioned before, we'll provide recommendations whenever there's no plugged in content. So there's plenty to do in Chiang Mai. We'll provide a list that you can choose from if people need assistance, directions. We'll provide that as well. But one of the optional events that we're suggesting is going to see the Loi Krathong parade. So as you can see this little snippet here, very elaborate to celebrate the Lantern Festival. It's almost I'm trying to think of the equivalent. Maybe the people are familiar with the term Men of Roses Parade in Pasadena. It's kind of that super elaborate parade. Everybody's on the street. It's very festive. But did you want to add anything about the parade? Oh, you've been many times.
Yes. So every Loi Krathong event, there's 2 parades. The day before, which is a smaller one, but the day that we're showcasing on day 4 here is actually the biggest one, which is Loi Krathong Yai Parade. So this is a city-wide parade where all the schools, businesses, everyone would come out decked out in their traditional costumes and floats, and everyone's pretty much almost like a parade competition. Everyone's trying to outdo being as festive and glamorous as possible. And this is one of the biggest events where a lot, about, I would say over 50,000 people would be on the streets just around the whole entire city just to have a glimpse of the spectacles that they put out. And it's really fun. It's going to be a lot of fireworks, street vendors. If you're near the river, you could also do the floating Krathong, the floating vessels in the river. And there's a lot of shops, vendors, and it's an incredible experience. Especially, this was meant to cater locals, but eventually over the years, it became a major attraction that people would come to witness the Peng, which is the previous night, the Lantern Festival, and then also the parade. So it's actually almost like you have two festivals in one period. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks. So, let's move to day 4. Day 5, sorry about that. I'll let you embellish on this one. This is actually he is taking care of a baby elephant here. It's one of the highlights of the trip. People just rave about it for years to come. The people who've even been on this trip several years ago, they're still talking about it. So we do a full day elephant care experience in an ethical facility where they take care of the from the infants to the elderly elephant pack here in northern Thailand. And it's also for any contributions toward the tickets here, they go towards the elephant's care. And the good thing is it's typically one person per elephant. So you basically get your own elephant for today to take care of, to bathe, to feed, and to take for a walk. So do you want to describe the elephant care experience? Okay.
Yes. So this package is actually pretty much, they'll come pick you up from the hotel, take you to the hills, the jungle near the waterfall, where these are the natural habitats where the elephants, the centers, take care of there. And it's a nice experience because you get to immerse yourself in the environment where the elephants actually, how they live, how they eat, how they sleep. And it's considered one of the most really, really well taken care of facilities that focuses on the health and care of elephants. And what's nice about it is the owner of the establishment is actually the one who will be taking part in sharing the information and knowledge of how we will become elephant caretakers and learn how to observe elephants from inspecting their poop to actually, choosing what things to feed, how to clean them, how to brush, how to shower, how to observe how elephants are reacting, which is a very, very great experience because usually when you go to elephant camps or other establishments, you're just watching them there. Here, you actually get to really interact and be part of something bigger than the normal places out there. And what's nice about it is these elephants are being taken care of by villagers of the area. So there's a lot of strong bonds where these families and elephants grew up together from birth. So it's really, really nice to see the major dynamics in this situation.
And to add, it's far from a zoo experience. We're talking thousands of acres of
Yes.
wilderness here where they can roam, and it's very open. It's very protected. That's the key with human development encroaching. With population growth, it's very important for these protected spaces to remain, and this is one of the best. Day 6. So we're going to depart Chiang Mai in the morning, and then we're going to head to the City of Angels, Bangkok. We'll arrive there. It's like an hour and a half, hour and 45-minute flight. We're going to check into our hotel. As mentioned before, any daytime where there's nothing going on in particular, we'll provide some recommendations. Bangkok, and there's definitely no shortage of those. So it's plenty to do. We're going to stay near the center of the city. There's 2 transit MTR lines within like a couple of blocks of the hotel. So if you people who want to take public transit, will provide guidance on that. If not, Grab, or I think Uber is there as too, but Grab is typically more economical. There's plenty of transportation options, plenty to see and do in Bangkok. One of the things we'll see and do, the first official event here, group event of ours, we're going to the Bangkok Chinatown street food tour. So if you haven't heard, Bangkok is and probably always will be the world's street food capital. So there's no shortage of amazing dishes you can find just roaming on the street, just aromas that you encounter as you're going in and out of alleys. There's a in Chinatown, that's where the greatest concentration is. We're going to go down with actually a couple of the major streets there where it's just foodie heaven. I mean, anything you can imagine that smells and tastes good, anything that can be grilled, getting baked. Uh, it's just amazing. We're going to have an interactive experience, so it's not just looking. You're going to do some tasting, sampling. We're going to learn about the dishes that you encounter in that region of Thailand, which is a little different cuisine than northern Thailand. Anything you want to add to this?
Just come hungry. It's gonna be a full experience of just sampling. And what's nice about it is the street food culture there is um, it has been elevated over the years. So there's gonna be Michelin review levels, and Shaoxun Shim, which is a lot of high-ranking street food places to try.
So foodies, come ready. It's going to be fun. Day 7, we're going to go to the Grand Palace, which is one of the highlights of any Bangkok trip. You're going to see some things that you recognize from postcards, travel magazines, travel TV shows, very easily. When you walk in, you're going to be like, "Oh, that's that. That's incredible. I'm here." You're going to pinch yourself to believe some of the things you're looking at. So we like to get a little more detailed here in terms of the education, like how it began, or the symbolism of the art you see, not just necessarily just taking pictures and treating it just like a static monument. It's still in use. I mean, it's an in-use palace. It's a living, breathing facility. So we want people to kind of respect it from that angle, and we provide the guidance on that through our local tour guides, who will break it down and give you guys a very in-depth view of it. So you're looking at it maybe a little differently than people who are just walking through and snapping a couple of pictures and leaving. So beyond the facade, there's a lot more going on. This is one of your favorites. So what do you like about the Grand Palace tour, and what are the highlights that people should see?
Grand Palace, definitely the Emerald Buddha. That's the jaded Emerald Buddha. That's one of the world's famous. And then, of course, across the street would be the Wat Arun, which is a temple that is made with a lot of these gorgeous ceramic shards, where a lot of people would love to rent outfits and actually take photos or have photographers take pictures of them in that area. It's one of the major highlights. And then, of course, behind me, you see the picture in my background. This is actually the reclining Buddha at Wat Po. That's also one of the best temples where Thai massage originated as well.
All right. And there are, as I mentioned earlier, there are opportunities to get massages in Thailand. There's a huge, deep, rich massage culture. So that'll be on the recommendations list, and different facilities will be provided and directions on how to get there. Day 8, we're going to turn you loose in Bangkok. Tons of recommendations. You can see this cluster of buildings here. There's nothing short to do, no shortage of things to do at night, and the daytime is just as incredible. So yeah, last thing we wanted to do was give people kind of an overstuffed, where every second is accounted for. If you're coming to these places like this, I say, just explore. You're going to encounter some things that just around every corner that's just incredible, and tons of content. If that's kind of what you're looking for, if you're a foodie, there's no shortage of things to check out. If you're into visual sites, if you're into art, I mean, Bangkok has it all. Day 9, I mentioned a day of unusual markets. That's an understatement. So, one market is the Maeklong Railway Market. As you can see in the photo, you probably recognize this from the famous, like, influencers do their YouTube videos, etc. This is kind of a market where it's in the middle of a railroad track. This isn't magic. It's not Photoshop. It's actually here. We go there and then we'll have a particular spot where we'll watch it. It's safe. We're not going to be on the tracks, but there is a whole science to what they do in terms of retracting the tents here and making sure everything is up to safety protocol. But the content that you get is just incredible. When the train passes through, and you'll actually be there's passengers on here who actually take this train to the market itself. So this could be one of the modes of transportation if we take that particular route. But it's pretty incredible. On a different angle, a watery angle, we're going to do the Satuk floating market. So it's literally it's a market that has the vendors on boats and piers, and you're in a canoe, kind of not tiny, but it could be like 10 people, 6 people, and we're going through the markets, checking out any goods. The guide who's steering the boat, if you see something, you just kind of wave them down, and they'll pull over to that particular pier or that particular boat where the items are. It's pretty cool. It's incredible. You find out all kinds of good deals. It's definitely a unique experience. Which one do you like? Oak. I'm not going to say which one you like the best. They're both fun, but describe last year's experience and kind of how people just had a good time doing that 2.5 hours of what you would think. Oh, it's just shopping. No, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's not shopping. It's for example, the train market, people are pretty much shocked. Like, how do you have a collapsible fresh market selling produce and everything near a train, and they get to be next to the train when it's like you're literally like 2 inches away from the train, but everything's still fine, and then of course the floating market, people were able to enjoy drinks on a boat, having somebody paddle while you go through the canals. So Bangkok is known as Venice of the East. Everything's all canals. So this is where you feel the true essence of what life was like back then. Everything was through these canal boats, almost similar to Italian Venetian gondola, but this is actually very, very more rural Southeast Asian style. It's nice to have a beer on a boat and then just look at incredible things, way of living, way of how food, way of how people eat, how they shop. I'd say, it's one of those things where it's only in Bangkok we'll have that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible experience. With that, we'll go to our Q&A. We received some questions earlier that I'm just going to volley back and forth with Okan. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to submit them via the chat, or I'll go to Wendy, and then maybe she could collect some questions, whatever is the most efficient. But first one, is this trip solo friendly?
Yes, very solo friendly, and everybody actually make lifelong friendships, and I met a lot of people who we still keep in touch, which I'm very grateful for that experience, to share that as well.
Yeah, they definitely enjoyed hanging out with you. You're very chatty in a good way.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I'm usually very, very more energized, and I can talk all night. But yeah, if I take you out there, I love to share. I love to pretty much give you the full essence of what it's like being both a local. And I mean, I was born, I live in the States for over 30 years, but for me, I go back to Thailand every year. So for me, it's literally being a hybrid culture type of individual. And I like to share the essence of both, best of both worlds. And Thailand's definitely my passion project on this, for this one.
And being away so long, you also have the benefit of seeing Thailand, how outsiders see it. So you can understand how the reactions would be, and you can turn around and kind of interpret that. But that's actually a benefit. How crowded is Lantern Night?
Lantern Night, for the festival, it's been growing every year. This past year, I heard it was like about 50,000 people. But for, let's say, the whole city during this period of time, about 150,000, 200,000 visitors spread throughout the whole city. And besides the Lantern Festival, there's many festivals going on that night as well. But the ones that we're doing are one of the best ones, and it's growing bigger and bigger every year.
Perfect. Can you extend your stay? I could take this. I can. Yes, so there'll be options to extend your stay. So as far as buying flights, for people who are interested in staying in their stay, I would recommend they do not book their flights until they have decided that they want to stay longer or arrive earlier. Those recommendations will be posted before April 1st, most likely, April 5th at the latest. Like if you want to go to the beach, you want to go to a neighboring country after the Thailand trip or slightly before, those options will be presented as packages. So obviously the flights should be booked after you've decided that. Is Thailand safe? Oh, how safe is Thailand?
I would say way safer than most places, even maybe in the States. Thailand's very chill, very peaceful. It's very safe. It's very tourist friendly. There's a reason why you have an assortment of all types of travelers coming from all over the world because there's nowhere else that feels more safer than there. And also because of the Buddhist culture. Everyone's very, very giving. And people have it's a different mode, I think, when people are in Thailand compared to other destinations.
You don't have to feel on guard, but just bring your travel street smarts with you still because
Yes,
you're there with
yes.
all the tourists. What's the weather like in November in Thailand during the festival?
It's actually one of the best period time to visit, especially the weather temperatures around 80s to 90s. Days would be, the daytime would be, around 90s. Dry. What's nice about it is during this period is actually dry, not too humid. Bangkok might be a little slightly, but it's still very, very comfortable. And evenings could be about like mid 70s, mid 80s. You don't need to bring much as long as you have breathable clothing, cotton or linen, or you can get something over there. Elephant pants, those are very, very comfortable and very thin. And just bring a light jacket just in case you deal with, any air conditioned hotels or rooms, that are freezing. Yeah.
Perfect. Um, Internet. How's the
No problem.
connectivity?
Internet. We have good internet there. Especially if you have roaming. Uh, you could use roaming or eSIM. However, I recommend getting a local SIM card there because their internet is much faster over there with the local SIMs.
Yeah, and I have a recommend product that I use, Holofy that I'll share the link for. It's a software that you can install an eSIM with that connects to any tower, depending on where you are. Uh, One of the things I like to do as a wrap-up event is a dinner cruise or a dinner event on the last day before departure. So in Bangkok, I mentioned it's the world's most visited city, and one of the most popular things people do there are the dinner barges. As you can see in this photo, it's not it's not cartoon, it's not AI. This is real. Those dinner barges are just incredible experience, top notch, incredible food. Just kind of leisurely. It's a good way to do some final networking. It's a good way to say thank you to everyone for being great company. It's a good way to see the city from the Chao River. Um, yeah, it's a good goodbye. So I always have that, and it's one of the best cities to do that kind of social dinner event. So day 12, I mean, yes, the 2nd of December, day 11, that's our departure. There's a little mysterious beach here, which will be presented as one of the extensions options if people are interested, but we'll provide more details later. With that, we'll share some more information about money exchange and what street foods are like after the call. I can send Wendy something and or Jelani to redistribute to the group. But we thank everyone for coming, and we hope you can join us in Thailand. But one thing I will say, those who book before March 20th, we do have a promo. So one of the beauties of owning a travel agency is we get deals with our partners as far as if we have extra rooms at a resort. So one of the strongest promo I have is a 7-day resort stay if you book by a certain date. So the conditions are you deposit by that certain date, and you attend this particular trip. And within 30 to 45 days, that's when you get a certificate for that resort stay. So there's partners that work with me, maybe several hundred hotels around the world and a couple of thousand in the US that have rooms that they can't necessarily sell retail. So they give benefits to travel agencies to turn over those rooms because they know that once they get people on the resort, most likely you'll spend in other places like spa treatment, the bar, restaurants, etc. So that's where it comes from. And I definitely like to take advantages of the opportunities and provide extra benefits to Wendy's group. So with that, I'll share this recording with Wendy and Jelani to look at and encourage people to definitely book before March 1st so we can get you locked in. This is going to be a very popular trip. So as I mentioned, it's the second biggest festival in Thailand. And Thailand is one of the most visited countries in the world. And so that gives you a sense of how it's best to lock in as early as possible. So with that, thanks everyone. Oak, thank you. Do you have any parting words?
Parting words. I'd say I'm excited to be part of this, and I look forward. I hope everybody would get a chance to really look over, what Thailand has to offer, and hopefully we can take you there soon.